Welcome to Real Estate in Real Time. I'm your host, Woody Zimmerman, here with Mark Skrbowski of Remax Lakes, and welcome to the show.
Here we are. Good morning.
Yep, here we are. It is fall and feeling like fall, actually. Temperatures are dropping, leaves are on the ground, and I've got a lawn guy that gave me a call yesterday, and he's like, when are you going to pick up the leaves off of your lawn so I could put down the application? And I'm like, I just did. Like 2 days ago, I just did. And my yard is covered in leaves once again.
Here it is.
Yeah,
it's that time of year.
So, we are in fall, but wrapped up October. So, wanted to do an October update on where we're at year to date.
Yeah, try and get an idea on what it looks like. Again, replay January show and where we're at. Who knew about with COVID and all of those things. Yeah. But overall, the entire county is only down 1% as far as quantity sold year over year.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. And when you look at that number, it's like 11 houses.
Yeah.
So 1% is 11 units that didn't sell this year that would have sold last year. It's amazing that we're only down that much.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the interesting part to that is the volume sold is actually up 17%. So what's that tell you? There's fewer homes sold, but they're selling at a higher price for the volume to be as high as it is. And the average sales price jumps right into that. It's 18% up year over year.
Man.
Now again, 1,000-piece sample. It's sort of like the election, right? To be a pollster right now. It's not a good place to be, right? This is a relatively small sample size, 1,000 units. If you had, a few really high-priced homes in there, that could definitely impact that number. Much like with an election, if you read at the bottom, when they say that this poll says such and such, and they polled 800 people, and that's a nationwide poll, and they're going to have a margin for error of plus or minus 3.5%. And you watch, again, I'll get on my soapbox, but you watch, news programs that say, well, what really happened to the pollsters? Well, they didn't poll enough people.
Exactly.
It doesn't take a rocket science to figure that out. If you're only testing 800 for a country of, 333 million people? I don't know how many are eligible voting age. But when you look at that and you say, well, you polled 800 and you're going to predict?
Yeah, you can't do that.
Can't do it. Just doesn't make any sense.
But our numbers go back year after year after year after year. And so it's even with a small sample size,
right.
We can.
These aren't similar to the polls. These are actual results.
Yeah, these are actual.
This isn't predictive.
Exactly.
This is actual results.
Yeah, exactly.
So and then taking that from the county to Warsaw, again, a little bit different, and we've already talked that zip code 46580 in Warsaw. Why do we use that? It kind of takes the lakes out. It's the largest population center in the county, so that is actually up 6% year over year.
So, bottom line, the market is still hot.
The market is still booming, absolutely.
Yeah.
In specific price ranges, and I know we were talking a little bit off air about, I ran a search for a client this week, really broad criteria.
Okay.
$70,000 to $200,000 because he doesn't really care. It's just I want either a small lake house, 2-bedroom lake house, or a 3-bedroom lake house, which you won't buy for $70,000.
No.
or up to $200,000. There were 27 active listings, and the only other criteria I put in there was 3-bedroom and Warsaw High School. So it was within the Warsaw district.
Okay.
There were 27 homes available,
which seems like a lot.
It tells me that inventory is starting to pick up.
Okay.
The inventory is starting to pick up.
So that's good for buyers.
That's good for buyers. For sellers that have maybe been, I'm thinking about selling, maybe I won't, maybe I will. I think we're on the downward slide to price appreciation. Doesn't mean we're not going to continue to see home prices go up year over year. I don't think you're going to see that steep incline in price appreciation.
Well, I think a lot of people were taking advantage of that price appreciation over the past couple of years.
There was a lot of demand. And who wouldn't do it?
Right.
If there's a lot of demand and there's no inventory, price is going to go up. If I'm thinking about selling, now is the time. I think that folks that are waiting till now to do it, they're, when they listen to the national stuff, price appreciation 10% year over year. I think they're pricing too high, expecting they're going to get that, and then they're going to sit on the market longer. And our numbers kind of point that out. if you look at Warsaw, the days on market, the average days on market for that entire 46580 zip code is now 42 days.
To me, that's an amazing number.
It's still a great number.
Yeah.
It is still fantastic. It is still, it's not back to the dark days when we had homes on the market for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
But 42 days when, if you replayed some of our shows from 18 and the beginning of 19, when, man, 30 days, the average was around 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
So, it doesn't seem like much. Oh, it's 42 versus 30, but if you did that as a percentage, pretty significant, right? It's almost half.
Yeah, right.
Right? It's almost
True.
50%.
Yeah.
So, I think that inventory is beginning to pick up. We're starting to see some more homes come on the market. This time of year, it tends to slow anyways. Buyer activity slows because of, Thanksgiving, getting ready for the holidays and all those things. So I'm not saying, hey, it's converted to a buyer's market yet. It's not there. We've got to get to a balance, but it slowed down from where it was in the peak this summer.
Right, but I do want to talk about something, and we'll do this coming back right after the break. But I do want to talk about all the people that tried to buy, but with multiple offers on the table. A lot of people got discouraged and
Sure.
turned around, walked away from buying a home because of that.
Yeah.
And so now they have opportunities. So I want to talk about that. I also want to talk about interest rates, the election, stock market, and all the stuff that's happening right now. So we're going to be back right after this. You're listening to Real Estate in Real Time. Welcome back. You're listening to Real Estate in Real Time. I'm your host, Woody Zimmerman, here with Mark Skowalski of RE/MAX Lakes. And we've been talking about the market update and just amazing numbers on the homes that have sold. I mean, 2020 has not been off from 2019. It seems like we're off with everything else in the
Right.
world, but the real estate market has still been hot. But you were talking about, you think we might be in a little bit of a transition mode when it comes to, being in the seller's market.
Yeah.
We have more opportunity for buyers out there right now.
Absolutely. It is a good time for buyers to jump in. When you see that days on market start to extend, and if sellers truly do need to sell, they're going to be more likely to negotiate. Now, don't take that as it's on the market one day, and you're going to come in and see that 10% price reduction.
No.
Highly unlikely. My standard example is, okay, I listed my house, Friday night. I went to bed. I got up Saturday morning and go, oh, well, I'll accept an offer for $10,000 less than what I listed it for yesterday.
No.
It happens, but not very often.
Yeah,
Let's
right.
put it that way. Depends on the seller's motivation. But it is truly a good time for buyers to get out there. If we're starting to see inventory bump up, and I believe we are, and interest rates are still fantastic. I closed one last week, 2 7/8 on a
Wow.
30-year fixed.
Man.
2 7/8. Who'd have thought
Yeah.
you could ever, buy something at below 3% interest?
Money is cheap right now.
Money is cheap right now. Again, going back to, if you listen to the last couple of shows, we talked about, getting your credit in order and all those things. You need to be ready to buy when it comes time, and having better credit is going to help you get those lower rates. So interest rates, and the prediction is, regardless of the results of the presidential election, we still don't know.
Right.
I think we kind of know, but we don't know.
Yeah.
There's a presumptive winner, but we don't know for sure. All the industry folks are talking about the fact that having a divided government in Washington is actually good for the real estate market. And if that is in fact what happens, they would expect that next year is going to be a good year as well. So 2021 is expected to be a good year. I don't believe that it's going to be as good as 2020 or 2019 or 2018. It's got to top out sometime.
But I think you also said that at the end of
I
2019 for
did.
2020.
I did, and I was let me say it wrong. Right? We all hate to say
Yes.
we're wrong. Well, I hate to say I was wrong, but I was wrong.
Yeah, well, but I mean, it's...
I put my big boy pants on and I take ownership of
Yeah,
it.
but the thing is that, it's like this. We were so thankful when the Cubs won the World Series, but you can't win the World Series every year.
You can't.
And the market has has just been hot, year after
Yeah.
year after year.
Yeah.
But the thing is, and I said this before the break, this looks like some encouragement for the people that got discouraged when they were trying to buy a house, but
Right.
there's so many multiple offers going
Yeah.
on because the market was so hot, because it was such a seller's market. And now, like you said, you feel like a little bit of a transition that we're going into, not saying a full buyer's market, but I mean,
Right.
just a little bit of a transition, like we're on the tail end.
Yeah, I believe we are, and that doesn't mean that there will not continue to be multiple offers. I put one on the market, it had 1.5 acres, 4-bedroom, 3-bath house, and we had multiple offers on it in 4 days.
Yeah.
So it can still happen, and it is still happening. The trend towards 4-bedroom homes, a little bit bigger home, is continuing. Part of that is people that were trapped in their houses decided, hey, I need that little bit bigger home. I need more space. I need the potential for a home office. I need those things. So 4-bedroom homes, I would expect to see that. So if you're a buyer looking for 4-bedroom homes, don't wait.
Mm-hmm.
Don't wait thinking, hey, I'm going to get a better deal down the road, because those are still in relatively high demand. I think that as sellers begin to pull back from trying to take advantage of the increase in prices that we've dealt with and start pricing more reflective of the current market, we're gonna be in this transition phase for a while. And so I'm not predicting, hey, we're gonna go from seller's market to buyer's market, by the end of December. I think there's gonna be transition. We're seeing the standard seasonal slowdown. November is traditionally slow.
Okay.
When we're in the month of November, it's traditionally slow. People are starting to travel for holidays. They're getting ready for Thanksgiving. They're raking their leaves.
Yeah.
They're not out looking at houses. They're taking care of, getting their leaves picked up, getting their own home ready for the winter. But we'll see that pick back up again. I mean, it's cyclical. I've been doing this 15 years. And I've seen it's like a sine wave. You'll see it.
Mm-hmm.
As we come into the fall, it starts to taper down. And then when we get February, March, it starts to pick back up again. And we ride that wave until the fall of the year.
Sure.
Again, I've only been doing it 15, but if you looked over market trends for, as long as they've been keeping those stats, it's very typical.
Mm-hmm. And the stock market has been hot for a while. And
Oh my goodness, it's all over the map. Our 401ks are saying hallelujah to that,
yeah,
right?
Of course, yes.
401ks, IRAs, those things. The stock market is hot. So when people are more comfortable with their financial position,
Yeah.
they're more likely to go and spend to buy a home. I mean, obviously there's lots of reasons that people buy, but if you're buying just because you want to, having that financial security, thinking, hey, my investments are secure, and going and investing more money in a different house, in a bigger house, a higher payment, or even though interest rates are so low, all of those things come into play in the decision-making process for somebody on buying.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Okay, Mark, your contact information?
Sure. Website's lakes-realtors.com. Phone number's 574-834-1233. Doing a pretty good job about getting these things uploaded to YouTube, so you can search real estate in real time and find us and go look back at some of the older shows if you
Yes,
like.
yeah, absolutely. All right, sounds good. Yep, you've been listening to Real Estate in Real Time. Have yourself a wonderful weekend.